Hello, I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
and today we're going to talk about 46 days later and what happened. But first, Casey's going to roll that title card.
Brilliant French fries. Can you pass the Model X, please?
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. Wanted to talk about this article that we have linked below, as always, about what's been happening at Fremont Factory. We all know that the Model S and X era has come to a close. There was a signature sign-off of about 350 units as the final vehicles left the production line in Fremont. And Tesla had told us that they were going to repurpose this particular plant. They were going to be using it for Optimus, is what we've been told. Now, it seems that the demolition crew kicked it right into high gear as soon as those deliveries stopped, and they got into the Fremont factory space, and that Model S and X line has been completely removed. We've got a little video that Casey's going to roll for us as the machinery goes in and they start to bring down the certain parts of the line is being cut up and being recycled, and other parts are the grounds being dug up or the grounds being filled in, depending on what they need.
But they're even taking out a floor.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
So
for those who aren't familiar, my reference at the beginning of the show, there was a part of the line for S and X where two robots would hand each other a car across a bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they would move the car up and to different layers so they could get more effective floor space by having two levels.
Yep.
And wow, I somehow thought that like this stuff would all be carefully removed and not so destructively removed. That's shocking. Yeah, just tear it down.
Yeah, it's like they were using the heavy equipment and the pincer on the end of that excavator was just cutting through steel beams, chopping it in half, and they're just moving it out brute force.
Elon said we can finish this in 15 minutes. Let's see how close we can get.
Yeah, and pouring a lot of new concrete.
Yeah.
It out.
And Tesla, of course, is really well adapted with concrete pouring. They do a lot of it. And in some cases, they were filling up a pit. In other cases, they were flattening out areas. And as Patrick mentioned, they took down a whole second level that was designed to give some more floor space so vehicles could be on the production line and move over areas instead of moving flush with it. But
yeah, so that's all the area that I saw on my tour in 2017. It's been a while now.
Exactly.
So that was, they weren't showing off the Model 3 production lines yet because they were still secret. And so it was the S and X. And the tour was really cool. It was amazing to see they had robots doing a lot of stuff. And then they had full-time crews of people that were doing maintenance and repair of the robots to make sure that they kept the line working.
Yeah, I remember with my tour, it was the S and the X line. Although we did go by some parts areas that had Model 3 doors that was pointed out to us. There were some parts off to the side, but the actual line that we were able to observe was S that we could see as they moved along. And as mentioned, that robot that would pick up a Model S on one side, spin it around, and then pass it to another robot that would grab it and put it on the ceiling. That was an amazing part of the tour. I'm sure it was designed to be that way. They were even naming those robots after X-Men, I believe.
Yes, they were. Yeah, Wolverine and Nightcrawler, and
cool. So
those
those robots have been removed completely, as we saw from the video. and it's now being readied for a new purpose. So
More robots.
46 days from start to finish, including the concrete pour and the flattening and clearing out of all that material and infrastructure is now gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think we'll get the first Optimi off the line this year?
Wow, that's a good question.
As
Here we are,
fast as they're tearing things down.
26. I think we'll get some. I think we're going
Mhm.
to get a spattering of them, but I'm not sure it will be the actual line. I'm wondering if it'll be more of a line that is still in flux as to how it's going to be finally set up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tesla tends to, of course, learn by doing, and putting a line in place at a low volume will give them the idea as to whether or not it'll work in a high volume.
Right.
I
And
can
then
see
the
them
other
doing
thing,
the,
of course, is
the
is you know when do you commit to a high volume line? Is your robot ready
Right.
to be sold in those type of volumes? But I think that I think Tesla again learns by doing. So there will be something going out, but I think
Right.
it'll be low volume to start.
Yeah, I can see it being the shakedown models where they're testing out the line, making sure they're ready.
Yep.
Not everything's fully in place, and it's kind of partially hand assembled on the automated equipment. And I think we're probably going to end up seeing Optimus in volume before we see Cybercab in volume, just because the regulations are not going to be the same for that area as they are going to be for trying to get Cybercab across the continent and then across the world.
Interesting.
However, I think that they're also going to be the first customer there as well. So
Yeah.
You probably won't see them out walking amongst us, but I could see them with like 50 of them off the line by the end of the year, and then probably this time next year we actually start to see volume production start. 46 days to tear it down, and they're going to take more time to put it up properly.
Right.
And then like you said, you actually need something to run them. They need to have software that works and it's ready. So I don't know how fast they're going to be moving before the software is fully ready to at least put in the factory or do PR runs or whatever.
I wonder how long it'll take us to get to what I call the Will Smith moment, where you go to your door because it's the doorbell has been rung. You open it, and there is Optimus standing with a parcel, delivering it by hand to your door, like it was in the iRobot movie with Will Smith. That'll be interesting to see how long it takes before that happens.
It's probably sooner than any of us could possibly fathom.
Mm-hmm.
It is on its way, which is amazing that so much sci-fi in our life has come true. Still, there's a lot of that has not, but there is a lot, especially when it comes to communication and now robotics and now autonomy. All these things are coming to us live, and that's kind of amazing to be. Remember watching these things in the 80s and 90s on in movies, and now seeing Johnny Cab show up at your place, minus the Johnny, but still an automated cab is arriving to take you to where you want to go. Very cool.
I could see at some point if you need assistance that you hail a cab with an Optimus bot in it who comes and helps you load your bags or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking you cab to the Home Depot where we're gonna load bricks. So send 2 Optimus bots, and if I'm not there, start without me.
Yeah. Oh, it would be funny if there were just bots all over the place at these stores that could help you load that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who knows where it's going? But
yeah,
that's physical labor is what they're supposed to help us with. So it'll be interesting to see as this starts to roll along. With that said, what do you think? Is Tesla moving quick enough when it comes to this? Do you think that Optimus will be in production at some point this year? Let us know in the comments what you think. What do you think, if it's going fast or too slow, or right on track? Let us know what you think, and we'd be happy to see that. With that said, let's do some shout outs. Casey, what do you got for us?
Well, you catch us over on Let's Chat with Casey and Friends on Sunday at Let's Chat with Casey and Friends over at x.com and youtube.com/Casey Green. And then we've got another show coming up on Monday, so catch us there, and then we'll see you live on Wednesday.
Very good. Patrick?
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. Thanks.
Very good. Thanks, everyone, for being with us. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up, press that subscribe, help us out. We would really appreciate it. With that said, we'll get together next time and find out what's happening in the Tesla life.